And gentlemen, this is a story that came out on RT News about Betty Shelby, who killed, as we know, Terrence Kushner, and she has gone on to teach cops how to cope, and Betty Shelby should not be comfortable anywhere. And I'm glad she's being picketed everywhere she goes. She deserves it. She is a murderer. Her life was never in danger. She took it upon herself to kill an unarmed Black man that was no threat at all. And now she's making a big career out of it. Good. I'm glad these people are protesting her, and I hope they continue to make her life uncomfortable. Let's go ahead and listen to this story.
A police officer who fatally shot an unarmed Black man in Oklahoma in the US is now teaching officers how to deal with anti-police groups. The initiative sparked protests and a petition to ban the course. Now, Officer Betty Shelby came to public attention in 2016 after she was tried for shooting Terrence Kushner while on patrol. She was later acquitted of first-degree manslaughter. Now, she's now launched a course called Surviving the Aftermath of a Critical Incident, and it's for officers accused of shooting an unarmed suspect. Now, a warning that the video we're about to show does contain disturbing images. Now, in Shelby's case, she was among several officers who confronted Terrence Kushner when they discovered his broken-down car in the middle of a road. She says that Kushner failed to respond to her requests to raise his hands. One officer used a taser, while Shelby shot Kushner, hitting him in the lung. She claims that in the months following that incident, she received death threats and was victimized by anti-police groups. This inspired her to help others through similar situations, but Terrence Kushner's sister thinks that the course only teaches police how to get away with murder.
The sheriff and the leadership of Tulsa should really be ashamed of themselves to allow the officer who killed my brother, who had his hands in the air, who didn't have a weapon, he was unarmed, to have this officer teach other law enforcement officers after such a controversial verdict. And we feel, again, that she got away with murder, and we feel that the title is How to Get Away with Murder, and it's wrong. Law enforcement should focus on our classes that prevent what's going on all over the United States of America, and that's the killing of unarmed Black men. So de-escalating or de-escalation courses are necessary. You don't need a class on how to survive the aftermath. You're sworn to serve and protect us. You're sworn to remain calm. You're sworn to make sure that you treat everybody equal under the color of law.
Despite the protests, the Tulsa County Sheriff's Office did not cancel the class. They said it was not related to the shooting itself, but rather to the potential consequences arising from any similar incidents. Here's why Officer Shelby thinks the course is necessary.
I faced many challenges that I was unprepared for, such as threats to my life by activist groups, to loss of pay. My class is to help others by sharing some of the skills I used to cope with the stress of my critical incident.
For Officer Shelby to play the victim and say that she's being bullied and tormented by the media and activist groups who are simply voicing their concern, groups who are fighting for justice, for the killing of unarmed men by law enforcement, groups who have experienced loss and pain, and for her to turn this around and make this about herself when my family is grieving, when Terrence's children will never have their father around, is antithetical to the oath that she took as a police officer.
Police in Oklahoma have attracted negative headlines before. Statistics show that African Americans can be up to 5 times more likely to be subjected to forceful policing than any other ethnic minority. Mark Lewis, who's the founder of the activist platform We the People Oklahoma, says officers racially profile African Americans, claims the police deny.
This is a smack in the face of the African-American community here in Tulsa. Why is it that they are parading a person around the state and saying that she is their hero? This is what they're doing while we have to deal with the aftermath of her killing an unarmed African-American male. There is a huge outcry because she had no regard of his life. And not only did she shoot and kill him, she also did not administer care, but also she looked upon him, and someone within the helicopter had also had implicit bias and said, he looks like a bad dude. They had already had implicit bias already towards Terrence Crutcher. Terrence Crutcher did not stand a chance against Tulsa Police Department that day.
And I agree, but I disagree with his sister. This has nothing to do with training, and we got to get out of the habit of saying these things. It's not a training issue. These cops are trained to de-escalate. They choose not to do it when they're dealing with us. They make a choice not to do it. But we got to stop saying it is a training issue. It is not a training issue. It is the same issue that has been present in the United States for 5 centuries, racism. And you got the police departments all around this country that have been infiltrated by these racists, and they have done zero to get them out. They let these people exist in their police departments because they want it this way. And we got to stop being blind to the things that are very obvious. At this point, we don't have no time for people sitting around saying our shootings ain't about race. Those people, you need to get rid of those folks from around you that are making those ridiculous statements. We are not dealing with a fantasy. We are dealing with reality. Okay, if they want to believe the fantasy that we are not dealing with racism, then let those people go. We don't have time for that mess right now. But please tell me what you think. In my opinion, Betty Shelby is a murderer. She shouldn't be celebrated anywhere. In a just society, she would be behind bars. She would have been dealt with properly. But we live in this society where they celebrate people that kill unarmed Black people, and they will continue to do so. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I will see you on the next video. Peace, family.